Hi there, I'm Gene Benson. Thanks for viewing our Essential Vectors series sponsored by Avemco Insurance. This special three-part series will take a brief look at how high ambient temperatures can impact our flight. So let's begin our discussion on how high ambient temperatures affect our cognitive abilities. Vigilance is the ability to maintain concentrated attention over time. Heat is a noisy physiological stressor. It forces the brain to dedicate significant neural resources to thermal regulation or trying to keep cool rather than external monitoring. In pilots, the main operational concern is not just discomfort. It's degraded judgment, slower reactions, worse coordination, and a higher error rate as body temperature and fluid loss increase, leading to dehydration. We might face sticky instrument scans. Instead of a fluid scan of the six-pack or the glass cockpit, a heat-stressed pilot's eyes tend to fixate on a single instrument for too long. And we might have some missed cues. We might miss a subtle change in engine roughness or fail to notice a creeping oil temperature needle. And there might be radio frequency congestion. ATC instructions that usually feel routine start to sound like Charlie Brown's teacher. You might hear your tail number but fail to process the actual instruction. Heat can adversely affect our executive function and decision-making. The prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for high-level thinking, is particularly sensitive to heat and dehydration. Then there is impulse versus analysis. We're more likely to accept a landing clearance with a sketchy crosswind component simply because we want the flight to be over. And we might be more susceptible to get there-itis. The physical discomfort of the heat creates a subconscious urgency to land, which often leads to rust checklists and stabilized approach criteria being ignored. Heat stress degrades pilot working memory and impairs mental calculation ability. We might experience a mathematical slump. Simple calculations may become significantly more difficult. And then we have sequence dropping. We might forget where we are in a checklist. We might check the flaps, get distracted by a bead of sweat, and skip the fuel selector step entirely. Here are some key body issues related to dehydration. First is reduced blood volume. There is less oxygen and glucose reaching the brain. Possibly feelings of lightheadedness may develop. Increased heart rate can be noted. This can produce anxiety that can be mistaken for or exacerbate pilot panic. And finally, dehydration can lead to electrolyte imbalance. This can lead to slowed neuromuscular response and heavy or clumsy movements on the yoke and rudder. The most dangerous part of heat-induced cognitive decline is lack of insight. Much like hypoxia, heat stress convinces us that we are doing just fine right until we flare 3 feet too high or forget to put the gear down. Mitigation strategies for our cognition are the same as for our physiology. Plan hydration. Start hydrating 48 to 72 hours before a very hot flight. Plan rest, and of course restroom stops accordingly. Fly as early in the morning or as late in the evening as practical. Wear light, loose, breathable clothing and use a hat or sun protection while on the ramp. Keep water within reach and drink regularly. Thanks for watching part 2 of our series. Please be sure to watch part 3 of our series, which discusses how high ambient temperatures can affect airplane performance. And if you have not yet watched part 1, please do that. That one explains heat effects on our physiology. I'm Gene Benson, and I want to thank Avemco Insurance for sponsoring these videos.